Hi friends, Miss Amanda here, bringing you another fun STEM activity. So this month, because it's been Earth Day, Earth Month, we have been talking about animal helpers and how we can be helpers for the environment. So far we've talked about worms, and last week we talked about pollution. So this week I wanted to talk about another group of animals, and they're really, really important to the Earth and to us, actually. So we're going to talk about pollinators. Okay, so what's a pollinator? A pollinator are animals that help plants make fruit or seeds. So, animals and insects like birds and bats and moths and butterflies, regular flies, beetles, wasps, bees. Did you know that there are 4,000 different kinds of bees just in the U.S.? Pretty cool, huh? Small mammals like bunnies, things like that. And most importantly, bees are pollinators. So what they do is they visit each flower. So they'll go, they'll be at this flower, then they'll go to this flower. They go to each one and they drink the nectar or eat the pollen. And when they do that, the pollen sticks to them and they take it with them as they go from flower to flower. So this goes, like I said, any kind of like some insects, birds, hummingbirds, things like that. Like all that pollen will stick to them, and it will drop off as they move from flower to flower. Now, why are pollinators important? Pollinators are important because without them, plants would have trouble spreading around and making fruit or seeds because they can't just pollinate themselves. So they have to spread their pollen around to other plants so they can make the fruit or seeds and all the flowers you see. So pollinators, like the animals we just talked about, help 90%. So that's a lot. That's almost 100% of the world's flowering plants reproduce. So reproduce means have babies. So pollinators help plants have babies. Pretty cool, huh? So on to our activity for today. So we're going to demonstrate how pollinators work. So with our little pollination activity. So here's what you'll need. You will need cotton balls. So you need one or two. I didn't have any at home, so I had to take some cotton pads and kind of make do. I just flipped one inside out and stuffed another one in. So you'll need a cotton ball or two. You'll need tweezers. So I used my Cricut tweezers because I accidentally threw my clothespin away. So tweezers or clothespin, you can just use your fingers too if you don't have any of those. Or if you have little fingers who can't quite grasp the tweezer or keep opening and closing the clothespin. So anyway, so tweezers, cotton ball. Then you'll need about 3 cupcake liners. You can use bowls as well, but these will be your flowers, okay? So, because they kind of open up. So, sorry, sorry. My kitty cat has come to visit us. So if you see a little gray and white in the back, that's just him. Anyway, cupcake liners. So you'll need about 3 of them. You can do more if you want to, but we're going to be doing 3 today. Then you'll need about a tablespoon of material to put in them. So I have 3 different materials. So I have coffee grounds. I have almond flour. The website I found this on said cornmeal, but I didn't have any cornmeal, so I just used my almond flour. And I have these sprinkles. So colored sugar, regular sugar, it doesn't matter. I didn't use regular white sugar because I have a white cotton ball. So just some regular sugar. And you want to put about a tablespoon or 2 in the bottom. You don't want it to be too full. You don't want to waste materials, but you don't want to be able to see the bottom of your cupcake liner either. So these are your flowers with your pollen in the center. As many of you have noticed, when you have a flower, you tend to have kind of all the pollen and all the stuff in the center with all the petals on the outside. So that's what we're going for here. Now, you may also need a little bit of water. I did find that if I sprayed it like this, just kind of misted it, that it did tend to stick a little better. The website I found this on, they use those little pom-pom poof balls, but if we're just doing this at home and you're winging it, cotton balls will be okay. So now that you have all your materials here together, what you'll do is you're going to pinch your cotton ball between your tweezers, like so. So like I said, these are my Cricut ones, so they lock together. Or you just, pinch it with your hand, doesn't matter. So you do like this. You set your cupcake liners like I just told you to do. And then what you're gonna do is you're just gonna dip your cotton ball. You're gonna pretend your cotton ball is your insect. So these are your flowers. This is your cotton ball is your insect. So you're gonna dip it in one. So it's gotten pollen from one. Take it to the other. Do the same. Take it to the last one. Do the same. Now you can repeat this a few times. So, because when insects tend to pollinate, they go in the middle of the flower where all the pollen or the nectar is. Now, and they don't just do it a little bit, they do it a lot. Like, I know there's been some cute photos of little bumblebees and flowers on Facebook that I love. So, you do it maybe like 3 times or more, depending on how much your littles really like doing this. And you may need to kind of re-up your cotton ball spray in the middle, like spray it a little more with some water. So, but here's what you're going to learn. See your cotton ball? So your cotton ball has the green sugar on it. You can see that. It has some of your yellow almond flour, though it's a little harder to see. And it has some of your coffee grounds all on it. So, as it moves along. So something else you're going to notice is that, let me see if I can try to get it up where the camera can see. You're going to also notice that your other pollen has, like how it was just all green, it actually now has some of the coffee grounds in it, as well as the almond flour. So it's better illustrated like this one. You can see the green sugar crystals, the brown coffee. Coffee, it's a little harder to see. The green sugar crystals did a little bit better than our blanched almond flour. So, and all pollen's a little bit different. So some is a little finer, some is a little thicker. So it's good to kind of use different materials to see what picks up best. So that's the experiment, and it just shows how pollination works. Now, kind of moving on from this, did you guys know that you can help pollinators? Here's how. So some of the ways you can be a big helper is you can plant native plants that attract birds, butterflies, bees, etc. in your garden. So you can plant native plants or just plant plants in general. Butterfly bushes are great. Herbs are great. So one of the herbs that me and Mr. Tom plant, we plant parsley and dill, because every year there's these little caterpillars. I think they are a swallowtail of some, like the butterfly becomes like a swallowtail of some sort. So they come back every year to our parsley and to our dill. Now, I think last year was the first year they came here, which is really exciting for us. So we plant parsley and dill for them. Other butterflies, like monarch butterflies, like milkweed. So milkweed is something great for you to plant. You can watch every phase from caterpillar all the way up to butterfly by planting milkweed. So have a native plant native plants. You can also give the bees a nest. Like I said, there are over 4,000 bees, and not all of them live in a hive or even make hives. Some of them lay their eggs inside tunnels in rotting wood or in sandy soil. So you guys have seen the carpenter bees like making holes in the little playhouse at school. So they do that because they're looking for a place to lay their eggs. Cool, huh? So what you can do to help them out is you can give them a place to do that. So you can leave like a little sandy patch of soil or some rotting wood out for them. Or Miss Cat sent out this really, really cool link to make a bee house. Have you guys ever seen a bee house? They're really, really cool. So you can make one of those. If not, I can give you guys, I'll send a link to Miss Lee. So it's on how you make your very own bee house. So third thing you can do is to stop using or use less of pesticides and herbicides. So what a pesticide is it's a spray that kills bugs. And an herbicide is a spray that kills plants. So like Roundup. So if you use less of those things, or just completely stop using them at all, it leaves more plants for the bees, because those plants don't know that, like the sprays don't know that they're killing the wrong plant or they're killing the wrong insect. They just kind of kill all the insects or all the plants they come in contact with. So if you use less of that, so more flowers and things can grow and more insects can live, it'll help out our pollinators as well. So another thing you guys can do is support your local beekeepers. So how do you support your local beekeepers? Well, you can learn more about bees. You can also buy honey. Honey is really good. So I like honey. I do a lot of cooking with honey. I put it in my tea, things like that. So before I forget, some other things that bees like, especially the first, like when it's first starting, it's first starting to warm up in spring and there's not a lot of things growing. Some of the first plants that they can eat are white clover, like this, Loki. Sorry guys, being interrupted by a kitty cat. So white clover and dandelions. So by using less weed killer in your yard, you'll have more of that and the pollinators will have things to eat. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I miss you, I love you, and I hope you enjoyed this.